Okay, time for some man time. Government is not what most people think. And this is not a political rant. This is an understanding of the fact that people refuse to govern themselves, but they want to be voters. Imagine that. Imagine people who refuse to govern themselves, who refuse to govern their households, who want to choose the people who govern them. Make it make sense. Make it not make sense. I've seen many men who love their children more than they love their last name and what it supposedly represents. I've seen men who love their wives more than their last name and what their last name supposedly represents. However, I've seen those men somehow, some way criticize and ridicule politicians for not representing them properly. I've seen women who love their way, even when it's wrong, more than they love their husbands and children, more than they love themselves. And somehow, some way, they hate politicians who they claim don't represent them well. And they both have something very similar in common. They both have, when their politicians that they choose and prefer to govern them doesn't govern well, that they overlook it and they make excuses for it. They don't oppose the wrongs in their government, in their governing bodies, in their politicians of choice, simply because they share a same party title. But they'll do everything against the other party that shares the other title if they do the exact same thing that their party does. Interesting, isn't it? People who refuse to govern themselves, who want other people to govern them, they don't even realize that you're choosing someone that has your own value system to govern you. Did you catch it? If you're dishonest, you're actually looking for someone to be dishonest to you. If you do conniving, cunning, deceiving things, you're looking for someone who can connive and con you and deceive you in the best way. This is why people who have the worst lives in their homes have the most to say about politics. You can't dictate to your own children what and what not to do, but you want to dictate to a politician. You'll say because it's for your vote, but you can't dictate to your children whom you take care of, for your service, for your hard work, for your life. Interesting, isn't it? We tell people with broken lives to choose who runs their country. I'm going to replay that for you. I'm going to repeat it just for shits and giggles. We tell people who have broken lives and horrible relationships, more horrible relationships than successful ones, which means and shows and proves they have horrible decision-making skills. And they somehow, some way want to be able to determine who runs their country. Now, how is that even possible? How can someone who makes more horrible decisions than good decisions somehow, some way decide good for the country? How can someone with bad morals, character, principles somehow, some way make good morals, character, and principles for the country, for everyone else. I know. We expect people who do not show and display generosity to somehow, some way, be generous enough to society to make a decision that fits society and not just themselves. It amazes me how people want government to take care of them more than they want government to stay out of their business. We have more people who want welfare of some form more than charity of their own doing. We have more people who want courts to intervene in the problems that they create. Rather, they sit down with the people that they have issue with and negotiate for themselves. We have people who have not only broken homes and broken minds and broken spirits, people who suffer with mental illness issues, but they still want to be voters. Yeah. We have people who don't know what a law, a bill, a code, a statute, or anything else is, but they still want to vote. Yeah. Yeah. Imagine someone with the hypocrisy that says, if a stranger does the same thing to me that my child or my spouse or my father and mother does to me, I'll off them. But if my child, my spouse, or my father or mother does it to me, they'll get a pass. So you can be okay with right halfway. You can be okay with wrong halfway. You can be okay with doing the right thing sometimes, and somehow you're right. But if someone else does that to you and you fall on the wrong side of it, every single time they're wrong. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Yeah. So I don't talk politics with most people. I play devil's advocate. I like to challenge people to see where they have this undying bias. You see, if I support a party, if I support a politician, if I support a bill, if I support a law, I support it even when it stands against me. That's the only way to have checks and balances. The same way, if my child is in danger of some type of harm, I'll protect my child. And if someone else is in danger of that same type of harm from my child, I'll defend them against my child. After all, right is right, wrong is wrong, no matter who's doing it. But there too was a time that I didn't see it that way. Probably because I was also broken in life, in mind, and in spirit. Just like most of us still are. But what do I know? My experiences have only taught me that our biases means that we refuse to govern ourselves or be governed. So it doesn't matter who we choose to govern us, because all we're going to do is be ungovernable. But anywho, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get the conversation started. I'd like to know how you learned your governing, or what is your governing, and how do you govern, which will then tell me if you need to be governed or not. And until next time, man time out.